I'm going to enjoy every, now until 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours. Where I think it all started was before I was even born. My grandpa and my grandma, they had 3 planes. They had a couple 172s and a Pitts or a Stitz. I'm not sure on the exact name. But my grandpa, it was a single pilot plane. My grandma flew the taxi. The taxi was with my mom and her 2 brothers, and they would go to California a lot like that. But my grandpa laid the groundwork for it being an aviation family. My uncles never got into it. My grandpa unfortunately passed away a year before I was born, and the one uncle, my Uncle Bill, he is just, you can go to an aircraft museum and he'll name everything in almost a year till it was made. He's a big aviation guru, and whenever I moved in, I lived with my grandma temporarily as a kid with my mom. My uncle, he designs planes for Flight Simulator and X-Plane and all those platforms, and I would be on the simulator with him until my mom would kick me off. I landed the Concorde when I was like about 9 on the sim, and he was just blown away. I was able to bring it in and get it on the ground. Cut to about 16 years old. I knew I wanted to fly, and I went to Embry-Riddle, and I was under the thought that this was the only route you could take for aviation, is go get the aviation degree, give them the money. Anybody will hand you debt nowadays, and they'll gladly hand it over to you. And I just didn't I didn't feel like that was the right move for me at that time to take on all that at such a young age. So I squashed my aviation dreams on my own accord for about 8 years. And then when I was about 22, I found out about powered paramotoring, powered parachute, paragliding. And I had about enough money in my bank account and stuff to buy a paramotor and get the wing. And this was my answer to get in the air that I always wanted to do. So I watched Tucker Gott. He's a big YouTube guy. Watched him, and I was sold. This is the way. So I did that for about a year and a half. Put about, I'd say 30 to 40 hours on the powered parachute. Knowing what I know now about cross country is I would have went to Sedona and done a lot more with it. But I did that, and then I found out, talking to my friend Kelly, he's a good friend. It's been my mentor through this whole thing. We had lunch one day, and I told him I want to be a pilot. And what do I go, AeroGuard or Westwind? Which one do I pick? And he kind of told me neither, because in my current situation, I had a IT job. I had a good, stable job, and there's really no rush for me to go jump off the cliff or anything. He told me, go Part 61, and he's got a couple people he can suggest, and do it as I go. So my situation, Part 61, was really the answer, because I really like learning from the guys I did. They're ex-airlines, and they're just like the good old boys from the good old days. And it was just a real good experience all around. I got my instrument rating in private at Aerosim Aviation out in Glendale. Tito is a great guy, and Aerosim's a great school. He really took a lot of time to just put in for the next generation, which is awesome. Took forward, COVID happened and things, and started stepping it up to my commercial and multi this year. I got turned on to some Part 61 people, and Tito at Aerosim in Glendale is just top notch. You could tell his passion for aviation and giving back to just passing the torch. As to say, I called him a sage. He's a great dude. But my flying bout so far has been Part 61 and just chipping away at all of my certs. COVID happened. That affected everybody, and I had a period to where I wasn't going to go for my commercial or go for my commercial multi at the time, because airlines were down and out, and it just didn't seem like a positive outlook for the time being. But I got it together. I got the commercial multi this year, and I'm fortunate enough. Kelly, my friend and mentor, he flies Part 91 for King Airs, and he was able to take me on a lot of deadhead flights and give me the experience in bigger metal. And having about 100 hours, just over 100 hours in King Airs, and now about 2.5 hours in the Honda Jet just today, I got the opportunity. And now having this commercial multi, the opportunities are just, you just wait and wait for them to come. And I'm not in a rush for anything right now. I'm going to enjoy the ride and enjoy the people and keep I have my 9 to 5, and they're very lenient, which I really appreciate them and giving me this opportunity. I couldn't do it without them giving me that. So I'm very fortunate. I realize that, and I'm going to enjoy now until 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours, wherever this road takes me. And I'm just glad to have done it with the people I have, Tito and Kelly, and I'd like to thank them and the other instructors that everyone's just been top notch. And one thing I like to say about the aviation community is, you very rarely come across somebody that's really unbearable to be with. But so far, in my experience, everyone likes aviation for the most part. Nobody keeps accidentally falling into it. Nobody keeps accidentally taking a check ride, unless life circumstances or something is keeping them there. It's very hard to push through it, and everyone that does is pretty awesome.
Hey gang, here from Hangar Talk. Thank you so much for plugging into the channel, liking, subscribing. We appreciate all you continuous subscribers, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.